Today, Apple released watchOS 27 Developer Beta 6, and I'm sure the public beta is going to be following shortly behind if it's not already out by the time you're watching this video. But let's go into settings. Let's scroll down to General, go to About, and you can see the build number on this one is 24R5353A. So Apple's sticking with that A. The last build number was 24R5347A. So this is not a massive update. The update actually only came in, if I look right here, it was only 512 megabytes. So not much is going to be new in this update. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So first off, Siri is the new thing. So let's go ahead and launch Siri and just kind of take a look. Still got the same conversations. We obviously still have the dynamic grid in here as well, in case you were wondering what that is. If you haven't watched any of the videos yet, this is a new launcher for apps. So they change, kind of goes to the ones that you use the most. Now, I've only had this build on my device for about 19 hours now, and it's been on my wrist ever since. So keep that in mind. I'm sure there's still some processing going on. So when we talk about battery later and all that kind of stuff, but let's go ahead and test Siri. So let's give it a couple of the options that we've had before. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so the UI was a little messed up there, but it did get it done. You can see the timer is going, and yes, we can. Let's go ahead and cancel that one. Close that out, close that out. Not sure why it went into like the widget view, the smart stack view, but let's go ahead and try another one. 3 minutes. Because we don't have to say start a timer. It will just, and you can see it keeps going into the smart stack first, but it did still work. It's still, I feel like, a little too slow for on-device Siri. Like, these things should happen a little bit faster, but hopefully we'll see something better later on. But let's go ahead and try another one. Let me go back in here and stop this so this doesn't interrupt us later. But let's go ahead and check to see if it's faster with doing anything with email. Can you tell me the subject line on the latest TLDR email?
The subject line of the latest TLDR email is Tesla Cybercab launch, a taxi emoji, Cursor's GitHub rival, a person with a laptop emoji, AI usage patterns, a robot emoji.
Can you summarize the email for me?
The latest TLDR email covers several key topics. Tesla is preparing to launch its Cybercab in Austin, Texas, later this month. And Google has purchased operational data from the...
So it does pretty good with that. Like, that's kind of cool to see that and have that ability. So what if I just ask it, I'm going to try some new stuff. Is there anything interesting in my mail lately that I need to be aware of?
You have several recent emails that might be of interest. You received a reminder from Evan Sharon via DocuSign.
It did a pretty good job. I don't want to go into my personal email too much, but that was kind of cool. Like, I'm pretty impressed with how Siri does that. Like, it actually is smarter. And I mean, most of that was fairly quick for what it was doing. Like, the timer stuff still takes too long for what it is. But going through email and not having to me personally go through that, that's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and try the send an email and see how that works. Because I've not been able to get it to work, but somebody did comment that they were able to get it to work. Now, I'm not sure if they got it to work on their phone or on their watch. They didn't specify that, I don't believe. So let's go ahead and try it on the watch. Send an email to Tim Cook saying you will be missed.
I can't send emails from your Apple Watch, but I can send a text message instead. Would you like to send a message to Tim Cook?
Okay, so that doesn't work. Let's go ahead and try the phone real quick. Let me go ahead and unlock this, close out my email. Send an email to Tim Cook saying you will be missed. So that worked, and it worked really fast. So it's good to see that that's working for me now. Now, before we leave this, I will go, let's just look in settings and see, yes, you can see it's still optimizing search and Siri. So this usually takes a little while after an update. So that's still going on. So I'm guessing there's still probably stuff going on the watch as well. But before we go any further, I did want to thank our sponsors, which is myself again. I'm not sure if you've watched one of my videos, but I like to just sponsor my own videos whenever I can. And if you're curious how I have this picture right here, it is not a contact picture. That's usually the way you do it. But this one is all from an app that I created called Wristmate. So I can tap right here and launch it, and you can see I have all different sorts of shortcuts right in here that I can access. So I can start an outdoor walk, indoor walk. I can ask the orb, which is like a magic 8-ball. So if I just go ahead and tap, it shakes, it says the orb says no. So you ask it the question first, just like a magic 8-ball. If you don't like the answer, you can tap and try to get another one. So it completely changed there. And then I have a coin flip. You're going to get heads or tails on that one. And there's all sorts of things. There's even more than what you can see right here. But this is the app. And the great thing about it is you see as soon as I closed it, the image did change. So you can set these images to rotate through. Now this is obviously the waypoint watch face, and you can get a nice big image, but you can work it in the smart stack as well. I don't think I have one right now, but you can put it there. That's also a nice big image, but it will work as any complication. You can actually set these images to rotate every 15, 30, 1 hour, maybe even more, just on a time interval, but you can also have it change on app launch as well. So the app is called Wristmate. The link is down below, and it is only 99 cents. But let's go ahead and jump right back into watchOS 27. I wanted to cover one more thing with Siri before we continue on, and that is the step count. Let's see how it does. I've gotten mixed reviews. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's very interesting. How many steps do I have?
I wasn't able to find your current step count. You can check your steps in the help.
You should be able to find it. Can you tell me how many steps I have?
I'm sorry, but I'm unable to access your step count.
So still not working. Like I said, it did start working last time. So maybe after that search and Siri update stuff, the optimization, maybe it will start working again. But most of the time I would have to ask at least a couple times to get it. So it's definitely not there yet. And these are the things that are on device Siri. Like these are the things that should be quick, should be like near instant. And you know, a lot of them still aren't working properly. A lot of them are working, but are still just a little bit slower than I feel like they should be. But let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the battery. Now I did install this yesterday around 2 o'clock, and then I did charge it up to 100 a little later on, and we're gonna take a look and see what it is at now. I did sleep track last night, but just keep in mind it's at 71%, which isn't awful. I feel like it could be better, but you know, things are still happening in the background. It is still beta, so beta is always worse than everything else. So far not awful. Let's go ahead and look at battery health and see if that's dropped anymore. Still at 98%, so that's good. Nothing's changed from the last one. The one thing that I will say is kind of good to see, like the Beta 4 to Beta 5 took a long time. We had about 3 weeks in between. And now from Beta 5 to Beta 6, it's only been a week. Once again, usually at some point, the watch does miss a beta cycle, but so far that hasn't happened this year. Every single time a phone has gotten an update, the watch has gotten an update. So I'm not sure where that's gonna go, but I guess we'll just keep waiting and seeing. We are almost there. Like, we are a month out before the event and before we see it official and the new watches. Be sure to follow if you're not already following, because I will cover all that as well, including the new watch faces, which we do not have yet. I haven't even looked, but I can tell you for sure that there is no new watch faces just yet. So just still the same old right now, nothing new in there. That's not gonna come out until the final release. Same thing that a lot of you have noticed and are a little bit annoyed about is the quick app switcher launcher is gone. You can't double press and then get to that. That was replaced by the dynamic grid. So it's here to stay, along with the fact that the walkie-talkie feature is definitely gone for good as well. I know there are a few of you out there that have been real big fans of that. I tried it, it just never really worked for my family. There are third-party apps that you can check out. I'm sure if you just put walkie-talkie in the App Store, or just go in here and go into this App Store and search for that, you will find that there are a few out there. Personally, I feel like the voice to text kind of replaced that, and it's a little bit more convenient because that walkie-talkie feature could be a little intrusive at times, because you might be walkie-talkieing somebody and you don't know exactly where they are, so it just never was the best situation. Everything seems to be pretty responsive. Like, the weather app opens right away. My step count app opens pretty quickly. You can see it's having some issues there. It did drop down. I am working on, this is a beta of my new step count app, so I'm trying some new things because Apple has made some changes to the step count with 27, so everything should be matching more. So I'm trying to make sure that I match this. That's my main goal. Since Apple doesn't make a step complication, my main goal is to make sure it always matches this. So I'm working on that. You can see it's still got some more work that it needs. But overall, everything has been nice. The smart stacks seem to be working really well. No issues there. One thing I always like to test is the Apple Pay. So if I double press, you can see on that one, that was really nice. I hadn't tested it yet. So the first time I did not see the control center the very first time I did it. So let's try that again. And that time I did see the control center. I know that's a very nitpicky thing, but ever since Apple moved the control center to that side button, it's just been one of those things that I feel like could be better, and it's not Apple. Like, it's not polished the way it should be. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything with Apple and the Apple Watch. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.